Hi, good day, and today I'm going to do a tutorial and to show you how I lost 17 pounds in 1 month. I was initially 167 pounds, and by the end of the month I was able to reduce it to 150. Now the aim of this tutorial is to give you a very detailed idea of all the steps I took. Also to point out some mistakes I made, because I did make mistakes, and I want to give you a Trinidad point of view. I want to show you what local products I used and whatnot. Alright, so let's get started. Alright, so let's get with the basic concept first of how fat ends up being stored in your body itself. Your body needs a certain amount of calories to function. So let's just make some assumptions here first. Let's say that your body needs 2,000 calories to function based on your lifestyle. Now don't worry, I'm going to show you how to calculate or get this value. But let's just keep it simple for the time being. Based on your lifestyle, you need 2,000 calories to function. Let's see what happens if you eat too many calories. Let's say that you decide to eat 2,500 calories. Well, if you take in 2,500 calories, and your body only needs 2,000, then the excess 500 is going to get stored as fat. Obviously, if you're trying to lose weight, this is not a very good concept. So the basic concept is this. If your body needs 2,000 calories, you need to eat not 2,000, because if you eat exactly 2,000, you're going to end up maintaining the same weight, and you want to lose weight. So you have to eat less than 2,000 calories. So let's just say we eat 1,500 calories instead. Well, your body still needs 2,000, so you take in 1,500, but your body needs an extra 500. So what it will do, it will go to the fat stores in your body, and it will convert the fat into the necessary calories. So since your body needs 500 extra calories, it takes the 500 calories from the fat, thereby reducing the amount of fat stored in your body. So that's the general concept there. We're going to eat less than we actually need. Okay? So I'm going to show you how to figure out how much your body needs, and of course how much less you should eat. So let's move down here to the next slide. Alright, to do this you need to go to the our website. The website as well, it's over here. It's www.calculator.net, and when you go to this actual website, it has a lot of different type of calculators. You want to look for the calorie calculator. Just click on that, and then you should see this appear. Right, you will see the same exactly. So what you want to do is input your age. Well, this is my everything you see here is my information. So I'm 41 years old, I'm a male, this is my height, this was my weight in kilograms, right? So you need to convert your pounds to kilograms, and well, over here we have, they will ask you, well, what is your activity like? Now, I put my activity as light exercise 1 to 3 times a week. Light exercise is basically walking around, doing a little bit of push-ups, doing squats without any weights and whatnot. Right? Now, nothing too stressful. When I enter this information, right, when I entered this information, you click calculate obviously, and this is what I saw, which means to maintain my weight, I needed to eat 2,210 calories. For me to lose weight, I obviously have to eat less than this amount. Or obviously when you use the calculator, you're going to get a different value from me. So it gave you some options. You can eat 1960 calories a day, and that will give you this amount of weight loss. Or I can eat roughly 1,700 and I'll lose half of a kilogram every week. Or you can try the extreme weight loss, right? And lose 1 kilogram a week. Now, I was a little bit, hasty. I was a little bit excited to try the diet. So I ended up trying to be a hero. And I went with roughly the 1,200 calorie diet a day, which is 1,000 less than what I actually needed. So let's see what happened when I actually attempted to do the 1,200. So let's scroll along here. Let's see what happened here. To make it very, very simple, right? I attempted to eat the 1,200 calories a day at first, and I only lasted 3 days. It was just too difficult, all right? But even though I gave up after 3 days, I was very, very glad that I actually did it. Let me explain why, all right? So after the 3 days, I decided to move it up to 1,500 calories a day, which is still below what I actually needed. And the reason that I was glad that I tried the 1,200 calories first was that it really, really made me appreciate the extra 300 calories I could eat for the day. You might not think that's a big deal, but when you're on a diet and you're low on calories, 50 calories extra is a lot. You'll be thankful for it. So to get an extra 300 calories when you're so hungry, right? It's really a blessing, okay? So I went with the 500 calorie diet a day. And let's see, we're going to actually take a look at the diet. And don't worry, I have a lot of examples. I saved a lot of my diet sheets and whatnot, and we'll go through it as much as we can in detail. So when you're dieting and you're creating a diet plan and you're creating the portions of food to eat every day, do not approximate with your eyes and your hand. That's a terrible, terrible idea. I realized that for me to do this properly, I actually had to get measuring cups. Well, I didn't have to get it. My wife had it, so I just stole it from her. And it's really important when you're reading all the ingredients and the nutritional values behind of everything that you're eating. Sometimes they state the information in cups. Sometimes they state the information in ounces. Right? It is really important to know 1 cup is the same thing as 8 ounces. Right? And I did the calculation for a half cup, 1/3 cup, but basic maths. Okay? So make sure you have the cups to measure everything accurately. Also, if this is a side view of the cup, right, the measuring cups, when they say 1 cup, they do not mean a rounded cup. It's when you're measuring, it's flat. Okay? So do not measure a rounded scoop, because then you'll be adding extra calories that you didn't account for. Right. The diet was mainly high protein and low in 2 things. I kept the carbs low, and I also kept the fat low. Things like sodas were out. Any flour products, donuts, bread, out. bread and cheese. Cheese was out of it too. And definitely no drinking of alcohol. Okay? So, no sodas, no flour products, milk. When I'm saying milk drinks, I'm talking about those chocolate and strawberry milk drinks in the 250 milliliter packs and whatnot. If you read the ingredients, they have quite a lot of sugar in them, and sugar equals calories. So you're going to have to cut out sugary products or snacks on the whole. All right? So these are some of the things I cut out completely. On some days, I did take a nibble of probably a piece of bread, or I did take a sip of milk, all right, because my body was craving it. But I didn't overdo it. I didn't drink a whole glass of milk. I didn't eat a whole roti. I didn't eat 2 slices of bread, all right? Your body will crave these things, and it's really important that sometimes just take a nibble of the product, just so your body feels a little satisfied, and stops nagging you for it. Okay? So let's go through to my main sources of protein, and this is really important. First of all, tuna, right? I bought a lot of tuna, and there are a lot of different tuna products, but these were the actual ones that I used. It have Grace tuna, the Brunswick tuna, and the rainbow tuna. Now the rainbow tuna here, I just want to zoom in here a little bit, was the one in oil. I'm not too sure if you all could see it. Let me zoom in here a little bit. Right, let me zoom in. Give me a few seconds here. All right. So when you zoom in here, you notice the rainbow one is the one in oil. Now, I know it's a diet, all right, and I'm supposed to avoid the oil, but the truth is, I know myself. I know sometimes that I would crave the oiled tuna because it just tastes better to me. When I'm using the tuna, like if it's oil tuna, I make sure and strain it, not just strain, but I press out the oil itself. So it gets rid of most of the oil, but the oil flavor is still there. So I still feel satisfied. When I came to the Brunswick tuna, these were the 2 that I was finding in the grocery, the spicy Thai chili and the white with lemon, and had the other one with lemon and pepper. Now let me explain something. The spicy Thai chili, to me, tastes way better than in lemon and pepper. But notice the calories. This one has 150 calories, and this one only has 110. So the lemon and pepper had 40 less calories. Now, you might not think that's a big thing, but if you do not eat 40 calories and you save that 40 calories for later down in the evening where your body is craving food and you want a little extra snack, you'll be very grateful for that extra 40 calories, believe me. Also, be very careful when you're reading the tins. For example, you will notice that this one here, I'm not too sure if you all could see it. Wait, let me zoom in here a little bit. Right. If you'll notice here that this marks 80 calories, 80, I'm writing it here. 80 calories, while this one has 110, but this says per serving, and there are 2 servings here. So it's really 80 by 2. The point I'm making, when you are reading the labels, read it properly. If you don't read it properly, you're going to end up eating extra calories, and worst of all, you don't know that you're eating these extra calories, and I believe your diet will not work, right? So that's the tuna, right? That I personally used. The other one, right? The chicken breast. I made it a point to buy boneless chicken breast. The boneless chicken breast is a little more expensive than the one with the bone. But at the end of the day, at the end of the month, I realized I actually ended up saving money when I was buying food, even though I was buying things that were more expensive. Because the main reason you end up saving is because you are on a diet. You are actually eating less. Remember, you're cutting out all the the foods like fast foods and a lot of the snacks. So you're going to end up saving money, and I think it's very worthwhile to take that saved money and invest only a portion in buying chicken breasts, the boneless one. Now, another reason why I bought the boneless chicken, it was easier to measure the portions. Chicken breast is a little tricky. Let me explain why. The great boneless chicken breast mystery. When you go online and you try to figure out how much calories is in chicken breast, you're going to get confused. Because when they talk about chicken breast, you don't know whether they mean one side of a chicken breast or they're talking about both sides together. And honestly, it got so confusing, I got frustrated, right? And remember, you cannot miscount your calories. That's the whole basis of this diet working. So what I did, the piece of information that I got that I could be sure of is that 3.5 ounces, which is a little less than half a cup, is 165 calories. So you know what I did with the chicken breast? Because it was boneless, I was able to cut it up after I cooked it, and I was able to make it fit in the measuring cup itself, and I measured a little less than half a cup. That was the only way for me to personally be sure of how much calories I was eating, right? And do not use oil. I shouldn't tell you not to use oil, but I did not use oil. I made sure it was grilled or roasted or something. I stayed away from all the fatty products, especially oil, when it came to making the chicken, right? I know what you're thinking. If you're going to eat chicken breast every day and tuna every day, you're going to get bored. You will get a little bored, but I have a backup plan for that, to keep you interested in eating the tuna and, well, the chicken breast. My other source of protein, I got a protein supplement. When I got a protein supplement, this is the exact one that I used. I made sure and got one with a low calorie content. The lowest I have ever seen when I'm buying a protein supplement is 120, so 130 wasn't bad, and this one was within my budget, right? Right, so, and it was very, very, very helpful, right? I use the protein shake mainly in the mornings and the last thing that I eat at night. So it keeps you filled, right? And I'll show you how to make the actual protein shake and whatnot. All right, so moving on, let's do an example of my 1200 calorie diet. I'll zoom in. I think I may need to zoom in. Remember, the 1200 calorie diet was the one that I wasn't able to do for very long. And it had me feeling sad, angry, depressed. It was terrible. It's a terrible experience, but a good learning experience. So like I said, doing it made me appreciate the 1500, and I did do a 1600 calorie diet also. So let's zoom in here and see what this plan looks like. I can't zoom in too much, otherwise the whole thing will not fit. All right. So 1 second, guys. All right. So let's see what I started off with. First of all, when I was eating, I made sure and ate on the hour. So that way I was able to keep better track of when I'm supposed to eat. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that you have to eat at 8 o'clock, you have to eat at 12. It's just that I would not eat at 8:30. I would wait till 9 o'clock before I actually gave in and ate something. So I ate a half can of tuna in oil, but when I say in oil, I squeezed out the oil. On the first day, I think it was one of the first days, I couldn't help myself and I ate one slice of whole wheat bread. Now notice how much calories that has, right? So that was a bad choice on that day, but I was new to the diet. I ate a handful of veggies. I bought these frozen vegetables, and I just mix it in with the food. I just heat it in the microwave, right? And, well, I ate 6 almonds. Notice almonds, things like nuts, they add up in calories really, really, really fast. All right? So you can pause the video and go through everything. I just want to discuss the popcorn. Now, the popcorn is the one that you buy in the clear packs, right? And you pop it yourself. But when you go online and you look at how much calories is in popcorn, you will find air popped popcorn. Most likely, you are using popcorn and you're putting a little bit of oil in the pot. So 2 cups of homemade popcorn with that little bit of oil came up to 100 calories, right? So that means each cup was 50 calories. And I did cater for the little bit of oil in it. And you need to be aware of every single thing that you eat, okay? 2 tablespoons of rice, 2 tablespoons of beans. Look how much beans has a lot of calories. But the nice thing about beans, well, for me, it kept me feeling full. And then at 6 o'clock, I ate back the other, well, it's a half can of tuna, so whatever remained, I ate it in the evening and whatnot. And at 9 o'clock in the night, I took a scoop of the protein powder and I mixed it with berries. Not too much berries, go easy on the berries, right? You just want to put enough berries, like a teaspoon, not a teaspoon, a tablespoon of berries, just to give the supplement itself a flavor. And a dash of skim milk and ice. I put a lot of ice and I blended it. The ice does when it comes out chunky and you drink it, believe it or not, the chunkiness of the ice, right, gives you this full feeling. And well, you can see how much calories with the berries and a little dash of milk, and it's skim milk that I used. All right, so that's an example of my of my 1200 calorie diet. Okay, so let's zoom in here a little bit and look at the 1500 calorie diet. So I moved it up to 1500 because the 1200, I'm telling you, and it was a little bit difficult. This one was manageable. This one was manageable. Okay, all right. So on one day I ate 1 can of the Brunswick chili tuna. This is the one with more calories. If I could go back in time, I would choose the other one, the lemon and pepper one, which had less calories, but I was new to it, and like I said, I did make some mistakes, okay? Well, 2 boiled eggs, right? I ate the whites only. So I have a cholesterol problem, so I'm forced to eat white eggs, the whites of the eggs only, right? And a tablespoon of chana with seasoning. So it's just basically boiled chana, and I put a lot of seasoning in it. When I say I do it, my wife helps me cook, right? And this is the point where I started to take this supplement in the morning and the evening, right? And I had something like the grilled chicken breast. So you notice 3 ounces, I measured out everything. So you can pause the video and go through the plan in more detail, right? So I don't, there's potato salad here, but I'm a big fan of potato salad, but potato salad are really high in calories. So when I ate, it was like 1 tablespoon, just to get my body to stop nagging me to eat it. So I gave it a little bit, and surprisingly, I stopped craving it for a good while. Right, so this day I didn't make the 1500, I made 1550, I went over by 50. And of course, if I had just chosen the other tuna, this would have gone down to 1510 instead of 1550. But the good news is, remember, let me go back to how much calories that I'm supposed to be eating. Remember, once you're below the 2210, I'm going to be losing weight. And for me to lose a half a kilogram, which is 1 pound a week, I had the opportunity to go up to 1700, but I still went trying to be brave and trying to be a soldier, right? I went below the 1700, right? I remember I'm talking about 1500, and on one day I went to 1600. But even at 1600, I'm still below what? The 17. So let's look at the 1600 calorie. It's not going to be much different. Also, I'm a big coffee fan, but I drink my coffee black, no sugar, no milk. Lucky for me, that wasn't hard to adjust to because I actually like my coffee black. Right? I know some people they love their coffee with milk and sugar, and it takes a little while to get off of that, but I didn't have that issue because I grew up drinking coffee like this. All right, so over here, look, I started to eat the Brunswick, the correct Brunswick for my diet, right? Garlic and hot pepper and whatnot, right? And I don't think there's anything I ate some dal that day, but I actually measured out the dal. It may seem crazy, but I measured out the dal. All right. So nothing really here. Bananas are good to keep there. Once again, you'll see boneless chicken breasts, right? Right. Oh, and well, sometimes, well, when I'm doing work late in the night and whatnot, correcting scripts and whatnot, right? I get a little bit hungry, so I had a half cup of cornflakes and milk. Be very, very, very careful of which cornflakes you choose. I made sure and choose a very healthy one. I made sure that the calories in it were very low, and it was, something with whole grains in it, right? Be very careful. Cornflakes and milk came up to 100 calories, right? So pay it in the night time. You see, when the evening comes, that's when your body is going to start craving things more. And you must have a plan, all right? So let's see what's next, all right? What condiments do I use? Right? Remember, when you're eating chicken breast every day and tuna every day, you're going to get bored. So to me, I'm a pepper mouth. I like anything bitter, right? So things like hot chow, mustard, and pepper sauce. This is the actual products that I use. I stayed away from ketchup. Ketchup has too much sugar in it. So you have to use condiments that have a little bit of calories, right? And stay away from salad dressing. Don't make the mistake and say, well, I'm going to chop up some lettuce, onions, tomatoes, and mix it together, and then you just lace it with the salad dressing. Take my advice. You go and read the back of a salad dressing. Just 2 teaspoons has so many calories, and you're just thinking in your head, oh, it's just 2 teaspoons. That will throw you off your diet, right? So I replace all of those things with these 3 products mainly, right? I did use a little bit of barbecue sauce, but right? Oh, look at it. Be super careful with salad dressing, okay? All right. So what about exercise now, right? A lot of people think that you need to do a lot of exercise when you are on a diet. To me, the experience was not really, right? I just did basic things, like a little bit of push-ups here and there, jogging, leg raises. When I say leg raises, I'm doing these things without any weights, right? I just tried to keep myself active, and well, I started a small home garden, all right? So, well, I'm doing a lot of housework. I just keep my body active. So while you're doing it, you are burning calories. Now, one thing to note, right? You might think that doing exercise burns a lot of calories, but when you actually check it up, it doesn't actually burn too much calories. So let's just say that you decide to do all these exercises and you calculate that all of this burns 100 calories. Let's just assume that you calculated that. Do not minus it from the amount of calories from your diet. Don't say because you exercised out 100 calories, you are going to eat it back. That's a very bad plan, okay? My advice, pretend all of this didn't happen. You just do it and then pretend it never happened. Think of it as a hidden bonus. Because the truth is, if you do 30 minutes of exercise and you look up on the internet, they might say, hey, that will burn 150 calories. What does 30 minutes of exercise mean? I am sure that when you exercise and you do a set of pull-ups or you do a set of squats, you rest in between. Does that count as part of the 30 minutes? No. 30 minutes means the time you are actually active for and not resting. So my advice is, and don't even focus too much on the exercise because you're going to be, don't focus too much on the exercise, I should say that, right? Because you're going to be so low on calories, you're going to be feeling weak, right? And you don't want to push yourself to do so much exercise that you end up getting so hungry, you can't control yourself and you just eat a lot of calories, and then what happens? You're off the diet, okay? Just keep yourself active, right? And things like housework and gardening will take your mind off the hunger. Well, that worked for me. I did a lot of housework, things I wouldn't even dream of doing. All right? So pretend the exercise never happened. Do a little bit. So how to fight the urge to eat now? Well, I mentioned one of them already. Try to do as much housework as possible. Okay? Do as much housework as possible. Salt prunes will help, right? I bought those packs for like $2 or $3, and when I was super hungry, I would, eat one of them, right? This was a lifesaver. Pure peppermint extract. You can get it in almost any grocery. Whenever you're feeling hungry, take a spoonful, a teaspoon of that. The heavy mint flavor will kill your appetite for a good while, right? And let me explain, right? It would only, I usually use this with the tea, right? With Lipton, it have other, green tea and whatnot, right? But a lot of times I use peppermint tea. The reason is, remember, I eat on the hour. So let's say it's 9 o'clock, and I get hungry by 9:20. Remember, I'm only eating on the hour. So I have to wait till 10 a.m. to actually eat something. How do I kill this time in between? I can do housework or take some peppermint extract in a teaspoon, drink it down. That strong flavor will last in your mouth for 5 to 10 minutes. Then take another teaspoon, throw it in your peppermint tea, which already has its own peppermint. Make sure the tea is hot, boiling hot. Why? It will take about 10 to 15 minutes for it to cool down. You're killing time. And then by the time you end up sipping, and drinking it down, 10 o'clock will sneak up on you like that. Okay? But it worked for me. And you cannot forget that cold bottle of water. I just have a 2-liter bottle of water. I freeze it over the night, right? And I fill it with water in the morning, and right throughout the day, I'm drinking the water. Whenever I'm too hungry, when I'm hungry and I have the urge to eat some food, I just guzzle down a whole set of water, and then I say, hey, what housework do I have to do today? Do I have to move anything from downstairs to upstairs? I find something to do. Do I have something to do in my garden? I go downstairs quickly, do some gardening, move some soil around, something, right? So that was my strategy. Let's talk about the cheat day. A very, very, very touchy topic here. If you read online, they will say it's okay in most cases to take a cheat day once a week. I did not follow that strategy at all. I took a cheat day every 10 days rather than every week. Now remember, I'm trying to keep my calories roughly around 1,500 and some days 1,600. But the point is, I'm trying to keep it below the 2,200. So this is what it basically looks like. Some days they go a little bit below the 15, some days they go a little bit. But you notice a little bit over and under is not much. Do not make this mistake, and on the cheat day, you just start to eat. You're going to throw off your whole diet. A cheat day should be more around here, well, for me, which I was able to maintain it. I kept it like about 2,000. So on that day, I would eat pizza, but one slice of pizza, I might treat myself to ice cream, right? So on your cheat days, which is every 10 days, do not overdo it. A cheat day, technically, is a regular, normal day for you. You just make it a little more than 1,500. You eat a little extra 500 calories, right? Be very careful about the cheat day. It will throw you off if you do it wrong, okay? Right. So that's eat every 10 days, every 3 days, every 10 days, and be moderate. And a last piece of advice, stay away from persons who discourage you. Remember, the theory behind losing weight is just eating less calories. That is a difficult task, right? So the science behind it is easy. The maths behind it is easy, I should say. But the social part, where you have people telling you, oh, you don't have to lose weight, oh, you don't need to lose weight, oh, well, why are you losing weight, oh, you only have one life, life to live, and people say these stupid things. If you want to lose weight, and you made up your mind, I see no reason for a person to discourage you. No reason at all. There is no negative effect to trying to reduce your weight to a healthy weight. A person like that, in my opinion, does not care about you. They do not, they're not looking out for your best interests. So I separated myself from persons like that when people was telling me certain things and whatnot, right? I just ignored them. I would have to imagine certain scenarios in my head, so I won't get angry. One of them is like when a person was trying to discourage me, I would, to be honest, I'm being very honest, I would imagine a time warp would open up and a dinosaur would jump out and like gobble up the person. It made me smile, all right? So stay away from negative persons. If you may make up your mind to do something, do it, all right? And when you're dieting, you get an idea of who really cares about you and who's your friends and who's not your friends, to be honest. Right, so guys, I really hope that this video was very, very helpful. I really hope, right? It worked for me, so I'm really hoping that it would work for you, right? And also the products in this videos, I am not promoting any products. I'm just showing you what I used, okay? That is all I was showing you. So I'm not promoting any particular topic, okay? So please leave your comments and let me know if you tried the diet or the advice or whatnot. Please let me know in the comments later on and if it worked or not. Guys, I wish you the best and keep a positive mind.